Hello everyone, welcome. So today what we're going to be doing is using ExScan for the Shining 3D ExScan Pro HD 3D scanner. Yay! So we're going to be scanning an object, and I'm going to kind of show you the user interface and how to do a handheld rapid scan with our ExScan Pro HD. This is a color 3D scanner used oftentimes in medical fields, but we're going to use it to scan 3D objects. And in a subsequent video, I'm going to take those objects and bring them into Blender, and we're going to create a still life rendering of a few objects. Some things to know about 3D scanners. They're pretty good at scanning things that have mass and not a ton of cutouts. What I mean by cutouts is it will not scan a chain link fence. It will not scan plants very well because there's a lot of thin forms with a lot of negative space around it. So things that can be scanned are, think about objects like a single banana is pretty easy, but doing multiple bananas is a little bit more difficult. Doing something like flowers is pretty difficult, except for just the end of the flowers. It's not going to do the stems very well. Anything made out of wire, forget about it. But objects that have more mass are great. So action figures, sculptural objects, bones, parts of, like maybe a hand would be pretty easy as long as the hand isn't moving, that kind of thing. So be mindful of what you're trying to scan when you're scanning it. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So this is the user interface when you open it up and you have your device connected. It says handheld rapid scan, fixed scan, handheld HD scan. We're going to do the handheld rapid scan. This handheld scanner is good for scanning objects about 10 inches in any direction plus, right? So I can scan larger objects with this. You would need a smaller carousel scanner for anything smaller. So this is what we're going to be using right now. Let's go ahead and click on it. Okay, so I'm going to create a new project group here. Put it on my desktop, and I'm going to call it Bowser. Okay. So we're going to do a texture scan. Texture scan basically means it's going to have color. A non-texture scan, if it was just a white object, or if you're going to add your own materials via Substance Painter or something like that later on, you're going to do a non-texture scan. But we're going to do a textured scan. The selection of alignment, you can do markers, which are little dots that you put all around the object. They're little stickers, or little white stickers that you put all around the object, and that scans more complex objects because it has a fixed point of reference. Hybrid uses both the features of the object and the dots, which is nice for kind of a combination of the styles. But we're going to do just a basic object with using features. Okay, so features is going to give you, the positive negative space relationships. Parts of the object are going to be used as like waypoints for as it's scanning. All right. I'm going to use a medium size quality here, and I'm going to hit apply. Okay, so this is the user interface here. You've got a window over here that kind of shows you what's inside what we're scanning. You'll see when I lift it up to the object, this will populate with the object on it. Flat detection is turned on. If you've got an object that's more geometric, that's going to help, but it's also going to help kind of find the table that it's sitting on. Brightness is related to how dark your object is, actually. So if you have a really like a solid, almost black object, you would increase the brightness substantially. If you've got an all white object, you would lower it way down. White is easier to scan than dark, and matte is way easier to scan than glossy. The glossier your objects, you're not going to scan a mirror definitely with this thing, unless you paint the mirror white and with like a water soluble paint, and then erase, and then scan it and bring, your object in, and then edit the materials to make it mirrored. So the less reflective the object, the better. There are ways around it. Like I said, one of the great ways to get around issues with scanning your object is there are sprays that you can spray powder onto an object that will help to kind of take down the gloss on it temporarily. That can be helpful. Also, doing layers of like a transparent white matte paint that's washable, that'll help as well. But the scanner is pretty good at picking up most things. So we're going to go ahead now and talk a little bit more about the rest of the user interface. So right here we have a preview window. I can hit preview on here to kind of activate the scanner, but there's a button on the scanner that has this kind of same shape on it. That's what we're going to use for now. Down here is our editing tools, which we'll get into after we do our first couple of scans. You can also create multiple project groups. So I could have as many scans as I want. So I can do really quick one-sided scans and then align them together, or I can do multiple scans and then or a single scan walking around, or kind of a combination of those. So the project groups is to add multiple scans to a single object and then align them together to create a finished whole. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on my other window here. Okay. And you can see that the dark areas are not showing up here. So I'm going to increase the brightness a little bit just to see if I can get these darker spots to show up. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that scan, and I'll do it again. Okay, and you can see that was too bright, so it blew out all of the lighter stuff. So I'm going to kind of try to split into the middle there. And you can kind of see it keeps giving you information like if you lose the tracking, you kind of have to move back in space. If you're if the object is misaligning, it'll kind of give you a warning to kind of move around as you're working. So yeah, the trick is to just go slow, but kind of maintain your distance and kind of go back and forth. As it starts attaining more and more features, it scans better and better. So I've got this first kind of part here, which is getting pretty good. And then if I hit the button on the back of it again, that looks kind of like this. It will kind of allow me to stop, kind of reposition myself, and then come back to it. So let's keep going. All right, so that is a pretty good first scan. So we're kind of looking here. Yes, we're missing a bunch of the underside, but I can rotate this figure around to try to get more of that. I do have some of the black on here. I want to maybe get a top-down view as well. It looks like I'm missing the darker areas, right? So that's kind of typical. So let's go ahead now and cut the bottom plane off, and I'm going to create a new group to kind of get this project going a little bit better. Oh, and I'm also noticing, you know what, I'm going to have to. Okay, so let's go ahead and do another scan. This time I'm going to rotate the object around and do it again. But first, let's go ahead and cut this plane off. So I'll go to plane cut down here, and then I'm going to hold down Shift. If you see down here, it always tells you what you need to do to enact the command. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Shift and click here and drag over to there, and then create the cutting plane. Click the mouse button to the left mouse button to rotate around to see how my cutting plane looks. I don't want to cut off anything too important. Okay, and hit apply, and that'll cut off part of the table. I think I'm going to still have some areas that I need to clean up outside of the cutting plane, because there's some areas that didn't seem to be highlighted. But that's good. I can show you how to use the lasso tool as well. So yeah, so all of this stuff over here needs to be deleted as well. So I can do that by selecting the polygon tool, Shift again, and just lasso it off, hit delete. If it looks right, hit apply edit. Okay, cool. So now I'm going to go up here and generate the point cloud. And that's going to basically create an object within the group, project group. Okay, so if we go to project group here, you can see I've got one project one here. I'm going to go ahead and go new project group and apply the same settings. All right. And then now we're ready to do a secondary scan. So let's go ahead and do that. Now this is an articulating model. So what that means is, of course, the arms and stuff will move if you knock them. That's a problem. You have to make sure that your object is as stationary as possible. So if it's articulating, make sure that it's not like super flimsy with the joints and stuff, because then it's gonna be really hard to keep it in the same shape and space. So I want to make sure that when I rotate this object, I don't knock any of the arms or anything, because that will create an offset in the scan. So keeping everything exactly the same shape, just rotating it is the goal here. Okay, let's go ahead and keep going. All right, so that's going to give us some of the undersides. Let's check this over here, though. Kind of want to get a little bit more under here. So I've got it paused. I can keep moving, though. Let's do it a little bit more. Okay, we got most of the underside of the chin here. Looks pretty good. All right, so let's now try to align these two just to see how it looks. So first thing, plane cut. Plane cut, hold down shift, draw a line. Actually, I'm gonna do it way up here. Okay, create plane, apply. And here comes the magical part. Okay, so we go generate point cloud. I need to lasso this off. Shift, click, click. Delete, check mark. And then project group, and we can hit the align button now. You can do it manually, which we're not going to do. We're going to do it by feature, and then we're going to click project 1 in the first window, project 2 in the second window, and then hit apply, and it will try to calculate and automatically align the two of them. Okay. And it looks pretty good. I am still missing parts of the top here. And a little bit inside the mouth. So you just kind of got to keep going until you get all of the parts complete that you think you need. And there's a little bit of a feel to it because it will automatically try to fill in some of the gaps in it. So that's a good thing, but I think I need to do a couple more scans. So let me just do another scan and I'll come back, but it'll be basically the same. I just don't want to keep showing you all of the information here. So I'm going to click exit here. And it shows you the model the way it's going to look, but I'm going to go ahead and do another project group here and then do one more scan. Okay, so we got a few more recordings here of the object. Let's go ahead and see if we can align them a little bit better. So let's go to align here. I'm going to start off with 4 here and 5 up here. By feature, apply. Okay, that's looking pretty well aligned. I got a little bit of the back, a little bit of the front. We'll go to next here. Let's see if we can go, let's see, group 1 there. And this one, let's go with 3. And go ahead and hit apply. Ooh, a little bit off, but not too bad. Okay, we'll go to next. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and say, 2 here. Apply. All right, got a little bit more of inside of the mouth. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and hit, okay, good. Next, we'll go with 5. By feature, apply. And let's see our result. Pretty good. We got most everything. I'm pretty sure this is going to work. I'm missing a little under the neck though. I would love to be able to get underneath there. So I'm going to try one more time. So I'll go ahead and hit next. All right, so looking at what I need, perfect. I'm going to go ahead and come up here, project, apply, and one more time. And I'll keep you on for this one. All right, so let's go ahead and generate the point cloud for this. Oh, crap, I meant to cut off the plane. Project group, and you can see, like, you can just get like little bits of it at a time and then go ahead and align them. So let's go ahead and align. All right. And our result is we got under the chin. We're just missing a little bit right there. And that, you know, honestly, it'll automatically fill that. Group 1, floated window, exit. Okay, so we got it basically how we want. The next step is to go ahead and click on mesh the model. And I'm going to do a watertight mesh because, you know, imagine I wanted to 3D print this or something. I'm going to just do watertight mesh here. So watertight, apply. All right, and here we are. Very cool. So this is our watertight mesh, and you can see some of the areas that were underneath that you couldn't quite get right are a little bit funky, but that's okay. It'll all kind of come out when we look at it here. Okay, so mesh optimization here. I'm going to go ahead and go high smoothness here. Let's apply it and see what happens. And so that's going to give it like less of those little triangulated flat sections, I bet. All right, so here we go. So this is our final version here, and we are ready to apply, and then we will confirm and export this, which means we can use it in other programs. We can 3D print it. We can do what we want with it. All right, so after we apply and confirm our results, we get this screen here where we can go save scan, and I'm going to put it in my Bowser folder here. It's an OBJ file, and I'll call it Bowser scan full because it's going to be the full resolution. And we hit save. All right, and we apply it. It will be 1-to-1 scale with the actual model, but later on we'll be able to scale it up if we need to. And that should do it basically for this model. Hopefully you found this educational. Thank you very much.